Welcome to GabTalks, where we provide tools, tips, and techniques to help your life and business be easier, better, and faster. Hello, everybody. How are you today? I am Gabriella, and once again, this is GabTalks, success tips from experts. And today, I get to bring to you the expert business coach, Mr. Steve Feld. Hey, how are you doing today, Steve?
Great. And yourself?
I'm doing fantastic, especially because I get to talk to you today. So, Steve, you and I were talking before the interview, and I wanted to ask you if you would please share with our audience all about your expertise.
I am a business marketing strategist. So I actually work with small business owners, entrepreneurs, and coaches, helping them get to that elusive 7-figure business without burning themselves out. Because my personal goal is to stop the failure rate of small business owners in the world. It is off the charts. And I just am tired of seeing the mom and pops go out of business because I am so passionate about them, their business, and seeing them realize their goals and dreams.
Absolutely. And the whole thing with burnout, whew, it is so easy to go from, I have a background where I was an employee for many years, and I traded that 40-hour work week for like a 100-hour work week being my own boss. And burnout is real. So we need people like you, Steve.
I hate to say it, I've been there, done it on the burnout, and it's not fun. I don't want anyone else going through it.
So you just said that you have been there, and I know you have a really interesting background that got you to being the expert you are today. Will you share that with us, please?
Sure, yeah. I've owned and operated 7 different businesses, and I went in and turned around 3 others. I'm a little passionate about business, and I love all aspects of business. So I focus on the foundational aspects, which can be in any industry. Yes, your business is so unique. At the end of the day, guess what? It's the same as the next business next door to you. That's what I focus on, is the foundational elements of it.
7 businesses you've started and 3 you went in and turned around?
Yes. And a couple of the businesses were consulting. So I'd go into a business and they used to call me the business interior decorator. So I'd go into a business and strip it down, not physically, but strip it down on the inside, get it back to its studs and rebuild it from the inside out to get their organization back up and running to be profitable. Put the systems in place, the right processes in place so they can start making money again.
I mean, that's why we go into business for 2 reasons. One, we're passionate about what we are doing, and we want to be able to create income stream to sustain our lifestyle.
Absolutely. And a lot of business owners get in it just for that, the income, sustain a lifestyle. And the one thing they fail to realize is an exit strategy. What's your goal at the end? They're thinking, hey, I'm trying to make money and you want to talk exit. Well, you got to build it to exit. Otherwise, we saw it in 2020 and 2021, people's businesses were highly affected by the pandemic. They didn't build a business that they could sell. Yep. They had a great income stream for 20, 30, 40 years, but they didn't have a business that's sellable.
Yeah, I actually was very fortunate. I started a business in 2016 and I threw the spaghetti at the wall. It worked and I kept going. And I was about 1.5 years in and someone said something to me about it. And I was like, oh my gosh, I will never be able to walk away from this business. So I started implementing things. Someone asked me a question. If you went on vacation for 3 weeks, how much of your business could run without you? And then the answer was 1%. So I did actually sell my business. And by the time I sold it, the answer to that question was 60 to 70% because I had somebody, I wish I had known you at that time. So that's really important, you guys, having someone like Steve that can teach you from the beginning to make sure, even if you never intend to sell, to have your business be sellable is huge. Do you want to talk about that for a moment?
Yeah, I mean, there's other ways. You could sell it to a competitor, which I've helped many people do it, and they think I'm crazy. But even when the economic downturn hit, I had a retail business. I got walloped, but I had enough systems and processes in place. I was making money, and my competitors were closing the doors. And they were begging me to buy their business because I developed a relationship with them. Well, I didn't buy their business. I bought their databases, which were more valuable to me. I didn't want their inventory because I had better stuff. I didn't want their equipment because I had better equipment, but their databases were gold.
Right.
So you can acquire businesses many ways. You can merge with another company. If you're kids, if you're the 0.3% of the world where your kids actually want to take over your business, you're not building a business to pass to your kids. They have different interests and likes and wants. They're not you. So they don't want your business unless it's a rare case. Then
Right.
that's legacy. But who knows? You can get acquired by someone else and be a division for someone else.
Yep.
But what is the goal? You got to build it to something because you want to retire one day and take the fruits of your labor with you.
Absolutely. And I think a lot of people pivoted when everything shut down. I know I did, and I've met tons and tons of people that pivoted themselves. So let me ask you, this is a really good segue. I always ask our guests about what inspired them or influenced them to take the path that they're on and become the expert that they are. Because I think a lot of people, when we are business owners or we're pivoting, finding inspiration is really important.
Yeah, I think it was the time I worked for a company and I was the 5th employee hired on, but I knew who the owners were and I believed in them. And they said, hey, we want you to kind of like create this division out of nothing. So I worked with someone else. We created the whole division, all the paperwork, standard operating procedures, everything. And then I got about 5 or 6 years into it and I'm thinking, why hasn't anyone done an employee review on me? I'm still an employee. So I asked people above me and they're like, wait a minute, do you understand what you do? You are actually took over everything you even touched. And all we did was get the heck out of your way. They go, you're not going to be in this job very much longer because you're running the whole show and no one's telling you what to do. And if they do, you ignore it. So you should be an entrepreneur. I took their advice and I started working with our vendors and our customers, starting to coach and consult them in their businesses. And then it was like everything I've ever done brings me always back to small business owners and entrepreneurs and coaches.
And you and I were talking before we hit record, and you mentioned a book that was very influential to you as well.
Yeah, Think and Grow Rich. I know everyone talks about it, but it's actually not a book. It's a workbook. It has a lot of valuable lessons in it, and it needs to be done in a group setting, 1 chapter per month. 12 chapters, 12 months. Then they even give you a guide how to do the next year. And I've facilitated many mastermind groups. And that's one of the greatest things to grow is listen to other people. Guess what? They have some unbelievable advice and they're going to help you in your business. They're maybe not in the same industry, but oh my gosh, they're going to really help you out. So learn from that book.
Yeah, that's incredible. I think a lot of people have read the book and not realized that it could totally be used and should be used as a workbook. And I love the fact that you're suggesting to do it in a group setting, because I know there's a ton of things that I've learned from other people, because, we've all heard it. You don't know what you don't know.
And yeah, one of the mastermind groups, we actually follow the book's lessons. So 1 chapter a month, we were never allowed to go ahead and implement what we learned and talked about. Everyone's businesses blew up very, very fast.
Wow. Hello, awesome listener. Thank you so much for joining us today at GabTalks Success Tips from Experts. We're going to take a short break and say thank you to our sponsors. It is through the generous support of these sponsors that we are able to bring to you these amazing experts that are sharing their best tips for your success. So please listen to what our sponsors have to say, and hopefully they're going to inspire you that you're going to click their links and go support them. You've all heard and you know how powerful it is to send thank you cards, notes of appreciation, and gifts that build and maintain relationships. However, writing and sending generic impersonal greetings and gifts one by one just is so overwhelming and takes so much time. Not to mention, these days, who wants to deal with lines at the post office, running out of stamps, or having to print stamps yourself? And then there's the embarrassment of missing an important date altogether. Yikes. So what can you do? If you go to marketyourbiz.guru, you will be able to get help with your greetings and gifts that are printed, stamped, stuffed, and mailed automatically for you. Make sure that you tell them Gabriella sent you.
This is Tony Stark Polici, copywriter, marketing consultant, and author. And I have a question for you. If you could take $20 and turn it into 1,000 or 5,000 or 10,000 or 100,000, would you do it? Well, you can. And it's not through gambling. It's not investing in the stock market. It's by buying this book. That's right, my book. This was voted number 9 out of the top 100 best copywriting books ever written, and I wrote it for you, for business owners, to help you write better emails, better sales copy, better advertisement, to communicate better in all of your marketing and business communications. This book will change your business and your life. Try it. You're going to love it.
Another question I like to ask of our experts, because again, a lot of the people that listen to us, they're pivoting and changing in their career, or they have, and they're ready to level up. And we do have younger audience that's just starting out. If you could go back and talk to your younger self, if you could give one piece of advice, what would that be?
Oh, it's the lesson I had to learn over and over again. And I got tired of hitting myself in the head with a 2x4. And that is, get help. Ask for help. You don't know everything. I still don't know everything. I ask for help. That is going to be your key to your success. Ask for help.
Absolutely. That's great advice.
And you know what? We as human beings, if someone came to us and said, I need your help, guess what? We want to help.
Absolutely. So Steve, as a coach, you basically spend your time working with clients on success tips to get them to success. I'm going to open it up to you and ask you to share with our audience your best tips that they can take away right now that can lead them down the path towards success.
One of the things I hear from business owners and entrepreneurs and coaches all the time is, I want more revenue. Every business on the planet wants that, but they don't realize that there's 2 steps before revenue. One is lead generation, prospects, and then conversion, because you have to convert those prospects into clients in exchange for money. So they're actually missing the first 2 steps. So focus on your marketing, your messaging, focus on who your true target market is. Don't try to be everything to everyone. If I go to another networking group and says, everyone's my client, I'm just going to lose it, I think. And I have lost it at networking groups. Like, not everyone's your client. Find who your true target market is. What are their problems and how are you uniquely solving them? That's going to separate you from everyone else. It's your messaging, and you can use that on everything. And I see that as a killer for many, many new businesses, because they don't really understand who their true target market is, what their problems are, and how they, the expert, is going to solve it.
That is super, super important that people need to learn how to do. Did you have any other tips that you wanted to share today?
Oh my gosh, one of my favorites, and this could be for all businesses, doesn't matter how big you are, what industry, is joint ventures. I love joint venture partners.
Me too.
Because it costs this much. And we actually do this with our clients. We call it an event chain of who comes before you, who can refer business to you. And then we actually do a deep dive in all this. Who can you refer business to on the back end? And you get affiliate fees. And it will grow your business and develop those relationships so deeply with related industries. And no, they're not going to take your clients. Get over that. You are working together as strategic alliance partners. It will work for both of you.
You can do JVs with people that are complementary businesses, and you can also JV with people that do the same thing that you do. Because I have to tell you, I ran a company from 2016 to 2020, and I generated most of my business because someone else gave out my name. Well, some of those people did the exact same thing I did, and I would send people to them as well because our company wasn't good at certain industries, but they were, and they weren't good at certain industries, but we were. And so even though we were what would be direct competitors, we cross-referred to each other. Because it built stronger foundation and relationships than being like, oh, you're my competitor. We can't work together.
Yeah, that kills me. It's like, I have a slew of coaches on speed dial, if you will, that do they do business coaching? Yeah, they do, but they do things I don't like to do, I don't want to do, and they do it better. They help me in my business. And by me, I'm serving my client at a higher level. If I go, listen, you need a forensic accountant. I know accounting. I am not doing that. I know experts. Let me bring you 3 people who I believe, I've vetted them, they're highly qualified, and interview them, it's going to help you in your business. That business owner is going to think, I'm the greatest person because I solved their problem. And it wasn't me who solved it. I just helped them connect the dots.
And I love that. I am a connector. I have a friend who actually tells people that it's in my DNA that I'm a networker and a connector. And I think that foundationally, giving is one of the most important things. And I like what you said about giving 3 names. Do you want to talk about that for a sec?
Yeah, because not everyone fits together. Some people are oil and water. So I always give at least 3 people's names. Like when someone needs like a startup small business accountant. So I know an accountant, she only works with startups. Once you hit a certain number of employees or revenue size, she actually will boot you out of her agency. Why? That's not her focus. Then I will introduce you to 3 other CPAs who work with that level. And then once you're done with them, I got 3 more, because not everyone is for you. You got to find the right people to really help you grow your business. That's why I give them 3 choices. Find out who you gel with and really works for your business.
Absolutely. On each episode of GabTalks Success Tips from Experts, we like to highlight a hero sponsor who is a business that chooses to highlight a do-good organization in their own community that is bettering the world. Today's hero sponsor is...
Hello world, this is Z, or you can call me Mr. Z. I am a web developer and I am also a consultant from Z World Webs. Today I want to highlight the Unity Foundation. The Unity Foundation is a nonprofit organization with a 46-year history of promoting peace, cooperation, and of course, unity throughout the world. For the past 22 years, the Unity Foundation's main focus has been using their media platforms to help humanitarians working for peace, make this world a better place, and promote the United Nations since 1984. To learn more about the Unity Foundation, please visit their website at www.unityfoundation.world. The link can be found in the show notes. So with that being said, my name is Z from Z World Webs, and let's develop a website Z World is waiting for.
So Steve, I know you have tons and tons of content, tons of advice. I know you've written books. I know you help thousands of people out there. And I think a lot of people need a Steve Feld in their life. So will you share with us how we can reach you? And you guys, don't forget, the links will be down below in the show notes, in the description. You can click the links and find Steve and find out how to work with him directly. Will you share with our audience?
Yeah, the easiest place is bizcoachsteve.com/about.
And where can we find you on social media?
Oh my gosh, I primarily on LinkedIn, Facebook.
And you have a podcast too.
And a podcast.
What is your podcast? Where can we find you?
It's on 18 different platforms, Spotify, Apple.
Well, what is it called?
It is Biz Coach and Coffee.
Biz Coach and Coffee.
Yeah,
well, we definitely have to check that out. We'll make sure to have the link to your podcast also in the show notes and in the description as well. Now, I mentioned that you've written 7 books. Holy moly. And I'm sure we can find a bunch of them on Amazon and also on your website. And I know that you said that you are actually going to give our audience one of those books when they click the link to download a copy. Tell us about that.
Yeah, it's my very first book called 45-Minute Business Breakthrough. It actually gives you 8 simple proven strategies that you can implement in your business right away without spending more money on marketing or advertising. And that one's really easy. It's bizcoachsteve.com/100K.
Nice. And that's 100K.
Yeah.
Awesome. So you guys, the link for that will be down below as well. That is going to be a really valuable resource for all of you to download and take a look at. So make sure you click the links. Don't forget to subscribe, mark the reminder so you find out when our next episode is airing. Hey, thanks so much for watching. We hope you got value today. We want to give a huge shout out of gratitude to our contributors. Please make sure you click the subscribe button below and don't forget to click the bell up above to get reminders when we add new content.